Oh yeah, I love me some GameCube. What the? I'm back! Oh, come on, you're back? I thought you were dead. Well, there was a monstrosity that happened the other day and it brought me back to life, so here I am again. And I'm here to insult you this time. Well, you see, I was a bit busy playing a game until you decided to turn off the TV. This time I'm gonna make you review. What, you want me to review another game? Alright, let's see, what's next? Oh, don't worry, it's Kirby. Kirby, I can do that any day. Alright, which one is it? No. You have it all wrong. We're not taking a look at a game. Oh no. That's right. You're gonna make me talk about the TV show, aren't you? The TV show. Kirby, right back at you. Alright, well, let's go ahead and talk about Kirby right back at you. No, you got it all wrong. That's not what it is at all. What do you mean? Look here, dummy. Oh, sorry. Let's go ahead and take a look at Kirby right back at you. Is that better? Now you got it. Alright, hey, you better review that. I'll be off. Until next time. Yeah.
Oh boy, that sure looked like it really hurt.
Alright, watched all the episodes. Ooh, that was a very long ride. Well, looks like it's time to get to work then. So everyone who loves Nintendo most likely knows who Kirby is. He debuted on the Game Boy and has most recently made his way to the Nintendo Switch and is now one of Nintendo's key franchises alongside Mario and Zelda. He's mostly consisted of the many games he's had on many different consoles, but that's not what we're here for. For the first time in channel history, I'm going to be talking about a TV show as opposed to an actual video game or list of video games. But I don't think we're going to go to the point where we review books. Now, that might get a little out of hand. But yeah, Kirby starred in his very own TV show titled Kirby Right Back At Ya. This show consists of a total of 100 episodes, plus one 8-minute special on a Nintendo 3DS's Nintendo Video application. But we'll talk about that later. First, let's talk about the pilot episode. One peaceful night in Dreamland, all of the land's sheep are sound asleep, until suddenly a giant octopus comes and brutally devours them. Wow, first minute of the show and we already have giant octopuses eating sheep alive? This is PG, right? Anyway, the octopus then flies to the castle, and then we finally cut to Kirby, who is drifting through space in his starship. But meanwhile, back in Dreamland, we are in King Dedede's castle, where all of the residents of the land come to complain about all of the missing sheep. This is where we are introduced to the residents and the two main characters of this show, Tiff and Tuff. Now, you either love these two or hate these two, it depends on how you view them. King Dedede, who was the best thing about this entire show, by the way, acts like there was no such thing that happened, and while the residents suspected that the octopus literally right next to him was the one who ate the sheep, he says that it's his pet octopus and that he would never hurt a fly. By the way, here we are also introduced to another character, Escargoon, who is King Dedede's main assistant. More on the characters later. All of the residents go to Kaboo, which is basically like their fortune teller in this scene. Kaboo says that there is nothing they can do to stop the monster, but then their only hope would arrive to save them, and of course that's Kirby, which immediately after this scene, Kirby crash lands in the Dreamland, and everyone, including King Dedede, who was simply watching behind them the whole time, everyone is shocked that Kirby was actually, well, Kirby after seeing his more cutesy appearance, And Tiff is devastated that Kirby isn't a cute prince. Jeez, don't judge a book by its cover, Tiff. Dang it, I'm mentioning the books again. Of course, King Dedede goes and smashes Kirby into oblivion. His excuse being that he could be the monster. Yeah, he just crash landed here. There was no way he'd get away with that. Tiff and Tuff go down to help Kirby, but Tiff slips and falls, who, of course, is saved by Kirby, following them with Lololo and Lalala. Oh yeah, remember these guys from Dreamland? They're good guys here. Anyway, Lololo and Lalala mentions that no monster would save anyone's life. It's after this when everyone gets to know each other on the field. Kirby is then invited to eat dinner with the town's mayor and other residents. Of course, Kirby inhales all of it because he sure as heck cannot keep that alternate dimension in his stomach full, now can he? After this, Kirby randomly runs out of nowhere where all of the sheep were devoured, and then Tiff and Lololo and Lalala then assumed that Kirby might actually be the monster. Oh, come on! You clearly saw in the morning that he crash landed here, which was after the night all of the sheep were devoured. That's like saying your 2 cats went missing last night, and then the next morning an airplane flies by your house, and then you suddenly go and say, hey, maybe that airplane was the reason why my cats went missing. It doesn't make any frickin' sense, because it would have been in the air. Back on track, they take Kirby to the closest little hut and want answers from them, only for Meta Knight to suddenly come, where he sees Kirby for the first time, and then immediately leaves. Meanwhile, back in Castle Dedede, we see King Dedede pull up a screen to chat with Nightmare Enterprises' Sailman. Now, this is the first time we see this, and then know that the octopus was created by Nightmare Enterprises. So, King Dedede is like the main villain of the show, but then Nightmare Enterprises is like the big main villain of the show. Dedede gets up to see that the octopus has outgrown its tank and now has green eyes and possesses King Dedede. Kirby comes in, King Dedede just immediately goes on a killing spree and beats the everlasting daylights out of Kirby until he runs into a wall and drops a star, which he picked up from Kirby's ship earlier. The octopus then finally grows to his true form and summons a bunch of mini octopuses and, again, beats the everlasting daylights out of Kirby. But this time he turns blue and is unable to do anything, which also means that the star from earlier turns blue. Meta Knight, who just came in, by the way, explains that the star is the source of Kirby's power. Well, I sure don't remember collecting stars to be the source of Kirby's power. He always just ate them and spat them on enemies. Kirby manages to get up and run to the top of the staircase, but then becomes trapped by the octopus. Tiff then comes and holds up the Kirby star, which then somehow tells Kirby he needs to inhale all the many octopuses in a cinematic scene. The octopus attempts to burn Kirby, but Kirby inhales fire to become Fire Kirby. It's a transformation anime without a long transformation scene, am I right? Alright, jokes aside, I actually like all these animations. They're pretty cute and funny at times. Anyway, Kirby breathes fire on the octopus, who is then sent to freaking oblivion. Looks like it's time for Kirby to go, so he takes off, but then King Dedede is all like, nah, we still have 99 episodes to go. And that concludes the first episode of Kirby Right Back At Ya. So, it was a decent pilot episode. The show introduces all the main characters and gives a decent demonstration of their personalities. So that started 99 episodes later. Time to do what just did with every single other episode. Nah, it's kidding. This would be a 24-hour long video or longer if I did that. I will say, you know the pilot episode I just described to you? Yeah, that's basically every single episode of this show. The only difference is whatever event is going down in Cabby Town, whatever King Dedede decides to do, the monster and Kirby's ability. It's like the new Super Mario Bros. You play one of them and you played all of them. Though there is the occasional episode that actually has an interesting plot that makes me interested. Like the episode where this girl named Sirica crash lands and searches for Meta Knight to take his Galaxia Sword, which, by the way, was where Meta Knight's Galaxia Sword debuted ever since this episode. This was canon throughout the Kirby series, so that's pretty freaking cool. But that's really all there is to it. Every episode goes down the same routine. Dedede's up to something. The town finds out about it. Tiff thinks it's no good. The monster is revealed. Meta Knight shows up. Kirby has to stop the monster. Done. This show was first premiered in Japan, which means we have an English dub version, which was done by 4 kids. Oh, come on. Yeah, they also mess with Sonic X, so this will turn out well. I don't mind the English dub personally, because King Dedede is a thing. But here's what happened. Episodes premiere in the wrong order. Like, some episodes featured some vehicles from Kirby Air Ride, which was around the end of the series, by the way. Maybe they did this to promote Kirby Air Ride because that came out at the time. Also, some episodes were just cut, mainly because some of them had guns and other inappropriate things for children, including the important Serica episode. But they somehow managed to let this bloody mess in for some reason.
We need to get out of here.
That would terrify a kid. So, the show is an animated series, so how's the animation? Here's the thing, the style is almost like a blend between 3D animation and 2D animation, less of the 3D animation. That is mainly restricted to Kirby, King Dedede, and Escargoon. Sometimes the animation on them can look fine enough, but other times it looks super awkward. And the actual animation overall looks decent enough. The other characters can sometimes look like they're running in a slideshow, though. Okay, now we can finally talk about characters. So basically, we have Kirby, our protagonist, and Tough to me is like the kid who thinks everything is awesome whenever it happens, doesn't do entirely much. And Tiff, well, other than being the one who calls the Warpstar, she is, I guess, the lesson learner of this show, I guess. She's not a bad character, I just don't know exactly how I would describe Tiff. And she's like the second most important character in this show besides Kirby. I just can't put my finger on it. According to later episodes, we find she wants to be a teacher and even has this obsession over this one teacher in this one episode who ends up being a monster created by Nightmare Enterprises. By the way, the same school concept appears for 3 episodes. What is this trying to be, a high school drama? That's Pac-Man's job. Ugh. Finally, I can talk about King Dedede. What sells me is his accent. He has a very southern accent, and he says some things that just make me crack up. His personality also feels like it matches the games. He's greedy and always wants what's best for him. This time, I do feel like he's a bit more of a villain, though, compared to the games, because his overall task is to defeat Kirby. He does so by buying monsters from Nightmare Enterprises to kill him. The funny part is that King Dedede never pays the salesman back. He always manages to find a way to get away with it, not paying, and I kind of love it. He also can be brutal to Escargoon.
Sorry, sire, but I had to act quick because you can't afford to pay out any more prize money.
Let's see how you like eating red pepper, you double-dealing, spy-sneaking slughead!
Sorry, Highness.
Now I got me a craving for crab!
Fears and wash away your worries. Now that I've calmed down, I realize how silly I was to think this place was dangerous.
Hey Escargoon, if you ever need a therapist, Dr. Warpstar's got your back. Meta Knight is also here, and he has a Spanish accent, which also leads to some hilarious moments with him that make me crack up. He kind of just stands there, watches, and gives advice. He occasionally fights, but that's in like a few episodes. That's basically the interesting characters to talk about. I could also mention Chef Kawasaki, as he's the town chef, but that's basically what he is. The town chef. And also other town residents that appear a lot, like Tiff and Tuff's parents, the mayor, the police officer, etc. Now, spoilers are up ahead, so skip to the time that's on screen right now in 3, 2, 1. So then finally, in the series finale, Fright to the Finish, Kirby defeats the evil Nightmare with the Star Rod, much like Kirby's adventure, and that's basically the end of it. Then there is the Kirby 3D episode, which can be summed up as Shrimp, Bigger Shrimp, and Kabuki Kirby. This thing's kinda terrifying. It was a somewhat decent comeback. It was also fully 3D, and the animation wasn't that bad, so yeah. Overall, Kirby Right Back at Ya is an okay show. There's some moments of genuinely good episodes, but sometimes it can range from good to not so good. There was a total of one time I almost cried when this stupid bird told Kirby no one liked him and then goes to Kaboo to cry. Tell me that does not melt your heart. Tell me! If you like Kirby, you'll probably like this show, but Goombella here pretty much sums it up. Again, there are parts of fun and laughter, but I think only Kirby fans and kids will get a kick out of this show. So overall, it's not a complete time waster. I can enjoy it enough. Plus, there's some pretty cute animations that I guess makes it kind of worth it. Kirby Right Back at Ya gets my seal of approval. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more episodes of Golden Warpstar. And, you know, after watching 100 episodes, I really need to take a nap. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh god, this is kind of painful. I'm never taking a nap in a chair again. Ugh. Oh yeah, Devil Warpstar, I finished your review. Just come already. You know what? I think he's gonna come by in the next episode. Alright, just bye. Just bye.